This is John for Global Traveler. Today I have the pleasure of talking to Chris Goldsmith, president of Belly Up, a fantastic music venue out on the West Coast, out in California, celebrating its 50th anniversary. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great today. Thank you.
We're going to get to the celebration, but let's get a little bit history. You're the president of Belly Up. You've been there a long time. When I know it was like 1982, I believe you got there.
I
Um,
actually started in 1987. It
okay.
was my first real job out of college.
So what drew you there, and what has kept you there?
Well, I grew up in Del Mar in the area. I live in San Diego County, North Coastal County, they call it. And it was kind of an idyllic place to grow up. And so, pretty attached to this area. Went away to school, came back. I'd been playing in bands since high school. And as we got older, some of those bands would play the belly up. So got to know people working there, got to love the belly up even before I was old enough to go in as a customer because you could still play if you were under 21, you just couldn't hang out. So when I came back from college, one of the bands that I had played in was still pretty popular around here and was playing the belly up a lot. And although they had replaced me, we were all still friends, and I ended up starting to manage the band. So was managing the band, kind of getting in to the belly up a lot to try and get my business done there, and ended up just kind of ingraining myself in the office to the point where they had to start paying me.
It sounds like a good plan to me.
It
So
worked. Yeah.
apparently. So Belly Up is celebrating 50 years. What do you attest to the longevity of it? Because a lot of places come and go, or they're hot for a while, then they're gone. Why has Belly Up lasted?
Well, I think a lot of important reasons. I mean, certainly just continuity of ownership has been a big thing. And then within that continuity, there's only been two ownership regimes. The original owner, Dave Hodges, who's still our landlord, started the club in 1974 as a bar, and it kind of evolved into the music room that it became. And then about 20 years ago, he wanted to get out of the operations of the business and sold it to a couple of guys, Steve Goldberg and Phil Berkovitz, who operate a really popular restaurant around here as well. And, Dave, to his credit, wanted to sell it to somebody who was locally based, independent, and, interested in keeping the legacy going. And that was important to him. And he took his time to find the right people. And so they've done that very well, and they've even taken the belly up another notch in terms of just this overall philosophy of quality experience for the artist, quality experience for the customer, and quality experience for the staff that work there. There's always been an effort. It's not a get rich quick kind of place, but it's a place that's very consistent, and is always there for its employees, and for its audience, and for the musicians that play there.
Now I have to name drop real quick. I was talking to Billy Vera, musician, played
Yeah.
at Belly Up many times.
Oh yeah.
He told me a story about how he was on stage, they were performing, and in the audience was Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett came on stage, played guitar with him. Is that kind of stuff happen fairly often in Belly Up?
Well, that's a pretty special one, and I didn't know that it was Billy that Jimmy sat in with. I mean, he probably sat in with a couple people, but I didn't really know who. I knew that he used to live in. He had a condo in Solana Beach for a few years back in the '80s, back when Billy Vera was playing a lot, and used to kind of bar hop around. He actually, Jimmy Buffett never didn't play here until the 2000s as his own band, but he ended up playing here three times, even when he was like at the arena level. I think there's a level of community there. There's certainly like bands like Slightly Stupid that live around here, Jason Mraz, certainly Jewel when she was around. There were people that would come, and more than likely, sometimes they would sit in. More than likely, they might do their own little underplay of some kind, but there's definitely a really solid community vibe in San Diego. It's not a city like LA or New York where there's just thousands of famous musicians all over the place, and like the whiskey where any given night somebody's going to jump up and play. But there's definitely a very homey vibe here.
Well, you've had a lot of impressive musicians over the years, but starting July 3rd, the next 50 days after that, you got 50 bands, 50 days. Tell us all about the celebration.
Right. So, as you try and contemplate a 50th anniversary, it can be daunting,
Yes.
for sure. And, for us, the challenge was, we have about 150,000 people come through our doors every year on an annual basis. And so it was hard to figure out how to do a celebration in a 600 seat club that could include as many people as possible. People have met their future wives there, gone on first dates there. People go there with their kids. People went there for their 21st birthday. There's so many people. There's so much emotional connection to the Belly Up in this town, which we all feel on a daily basis. And so, trying to go after, we've had the Red Hot Chili Peppers play here, and, we've had some other pretty big names play here, but trying to like find one band that could play the Belly Up and sum all that up, and then only have 600 people should be there because that's our capacity. It didn't feel like the best use of it. But so it took us a while to figure it out that really the only way to do it was to book 50 shows for 50 years and in 50 days, and try and include as many people as possible in the celebration over the course of it's really over about 3 months. It's not quite 50 days, but just to be accurate. But
Sure.
we always say never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
It works better to say, yeah, 50. Murphy wise, you're totally on it. So when it's all done, then like September 5th, are you going to just then breathe a big sigh of relief, but then look forward to the next challenge?
I have no idea what this is going to be like. It's definitely a marathon and not a sprint. It is somewhat kind of what we do all the time anyway. So for us, it was a little bit more about how do we frame it in a way of celebration rather than like change what we do, because we wanted to be who we were. We want to celebrate who we are. So in a way, it's a little bit of like, look at what we do on a normal basis and frame it in the 50th anniversary, and look how special it is, even just like on a daily basis. So I don't know that I'll be any more exhausted on the last day than I am today. But we definitely put some extra juice into the bookings. I mean, Michael Franti is going to play, hasn't been there in a while. Bring in some people like Spoon, who definitely have outgrown the club over the years, but did feel like Shaky Graves, people that felt like they were both interested and able, to come back. I mean, people have extremely busy schedules. The fact that any of them are coming to do this is amazing to us.
Well, it's testament to what Belly Up has done over the past 50 years. It's a salute to you and everybody else that has worked there. I was actually at Belly Up, I believe it was 2008. We did a West Coast trip we saw the Padres and the Dodgers, and we stopped at Belly Up one of the nights, and it's just a fantastic place. We heard it was legendary back then, so that would be like 14 years ago. So now it's gained even then. Before I let you go, tell everybody where they could find out more information about Belly Up and the anniversary celebrations.
Yeah, sure. Our Bible is bellyup.com. So if you're looking for something to do this summer and you're looking for a place to go, I mean, San Diego is beautiful country, and it's definitely a lot cooler here than it is in a lot of places this time of year. And there's a miracle of a club that's right on the beach. And if you go to bellyup.com, you'll see those 50 shows plus all the other shows that we have coming up and coming on after. And we also promote shows kind of all over the county. So we have a couple of other venues that the office has evolved to the point where we're promoting shows all over. And so you'll see about those shows as well.
Well, I looked at the list and it is massively impressive.
Thank you.
The legacy of the bands, the history of all the bands that have been there or that are coming, I should say, and what they've done, and to be at your place and to have those shows. I wish I lived in that area. It's like I could be out there 3 or 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
It really is an impressive list. But like I said, it's fitting for a club that has done so well for 50 years. And I congratulate you and the staff on all that. And we encourage everyone to check out Belly Up.
Great. Well, thanks again, John. It's been great talking with you.
Chris, thank you for your time. Good luck, and we'll catch up maybe after and see how it all went and
Awesome.
whatever else is next.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Thanks, Chris. Take care.
Bye.